Soccer Complex sees the host squad playing for its first district title under head coach Buck Morton in its first in a dozen seasons, but they're going to have to get through one of the most dominant programs in Division II, period, taking on an Ontario club who has reached the district finals for an absurd 14th straight season. It's live and free girls high school championship soccer, and it kicks off your Halloween weekend. Next.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
We are a church that gathers together, that builds up and reaches out. It grows together because we're all on a journey of faith. We don't slow down, give up, or rest. We don't stay within these walls. No, we pursue strategic impact in our world, in our communities, and it's not stopping anytime soon. So when we say we're a church that feels like family, we're not being exclusive. We're talking about you. At our church, you aren't just a number. We are for you. We are with you. You are invited to be a part of something bigger, something greater, something eternal, making a difference for the gospel alongside people who are for you. We aren't called to sit on the sidelines. We're called to join together to make Jesus known. Join us at Crossroads Church.
Please visit us at crossroadsbar.com for service times and locations.
What's up, America? Brian Skowronski here, and if you want to see me and the gang chop it up with some unintelligent conversation, we've got the show for you. Check out the OH Report video podcast every Monday, exclusively right here on the OH Report.
Happy Halloween weekend, everybody, and welcome into the Sutton Bank pregame, where we've got an exciting afternoon district championship girls soccer on the way. With Garret G-Man Parlett, I am Brian Skowronski, and as expected, Ontario back in the district finals, and per usual, all Richland County showdown. But G-Man, Lady Lex breaking through this season to challenge the Warriors, so we got a little bit of a mixed bag here this year.
Yeah, Brian, we've seen, on the other side on the bench, on the boys soccer side, we saw Ontario and Lex, Brian. We got the same story here on the girls, but on that side, Lexington was able to get it done. is Lexington girls going to be able to get it done here? You know, they got home turf in their favor. You know, they're coming in a hot streak. They've won all their tournament games. They're moving on, but they got to face a juggernaut Brian in the Ontario offense.
Yeah, Lady Lex has won 4 of their last 5, and during that stretch, they've held every single opponent to 1 goal with the exception of during that loss. And for the Lady Warriors business, as usual, this team's been rocking and rolling, one of the very best in all of Division II. That's why they are state ranked and coming in here as a heavy favorite, despite having to replace 10 starters due to graduation from a season ago. All right, let's break down this Lady Lex squad and explain to you how they were able to get to this point, and they were able to exercise some Halloween demons, G-Man, in tournament play to get here. 2-1 in a shootout to get by Madison, and then 2-1, both of those goals coming in the second half, and a big one over Clear Fork.
Yeah, Brian, this district's been dominated between, the Ontarios, the Lexingtons, the Clear Forks, the Madisons. We've seen Madison and Ontario, a lot here in the last couple of years, but this time Lexington able to get over the hump, able to knock them off, and then in the next round able to knock off Clear Fork, as you mentioned, 2-1 just a couple nights ago. Their first district championship appearance under head coach Buck Morton. So, a lot going on here today, a lot at stake, and a lot on the line here for Lady Lex.
And a big reason why they've been able to be so dominant and get to this point in the tournament, how about the play of their senior keeper, Mollie Worley? Got 71 saves on the year, 4 shutouts. She's allowing just a shade under 1.8 goals per contest, G. So if you can defend, what do they say? It wins championships. That's why she's got her team in a position here this afternoon to do just that.
Well, Brian, that's the way that I see Lexington going to be able to pull off this upset, is if it's low scoring and, Mollie Worley's able to dominate back there and have a solid game, they're going to need her to step up, because Ontario's offense, they're going to bring it, and they're going to be able to, get a lot of shots on goal. How is Lexington going to be able to combat that and slow some of that down? Because, if it's a high-scoring game, I'm not sure if Lexington's going to be able to keep up.
That's because Ontario, like you mentioned, boy, they can just really sizzle it out there offensively. 14th straight district final, as I mentioned, for the girls wearing the gray and blue uniforms here this afternoon. 17 wins in 20 tries, G-Man, and they've been obliterating the competition so far within the tournament. You want to talk about 3 straight shutouts and hefty ones at that, 25 zip. They've been killing it.
I mean, their offense is incredible, and it's led by, the 2 freshmen, Adi Pittman and Adi Ugovic. So, they got young girls on this squad, but they've been here. They're so experienced. It seems that they've been playing Madison for years. It's kind of like just how Ontario Lex boys has been playing. It seems like Ontario's always in here and always competing for a district title, and they're going to get a chance here today against Lexington. And, their offense, it's almost unstoppable. They got so many girls that can go out there and score. They share the rock a lot, and they're also a great defending team. So we'll see how Ontario's offense is able to respond against this Lex D.
That was a good shot there of Adi Turnbaugh. She's a senior, the MOAC Player of the Year, recently crowned. A lot of the accolades and the attention gets shined on the freshman, and rightfully so. The numbers are, they just don't even seem real when you're talking about Hattie with 37 goals. Addie's got 28 on the season. But the senior leadership that Turnbaugh able to bring to the equation, it's a difference maker for the squad, and I think it's one of the biggest reasons why they've got a big shot here to get over the hump. It's been 5 seasons since they've won a crown here in the districts. They'll get it done here this afternoon, G-Man, according to us, if my key to victory is just hoard that candy if you're Ontario. Maybe share some of the good and plenties. Not really my favorite, but when it comes to soccer terms, you want good and plenty chances. That's what the freshmen are able to develop for them, but for the rest of those candies, the good ones, just keep them to yourself. Keep that ball control.
Well, Brian, you had mentioned it that, this team, they got a lot of good freshmen on the team, does Ontario, but they've been here. You mentioned it. They haven't won a district title in 5 years, but they've been here so many times. They got experience. They got, the legendary coach in Larry Atkinson that's going to prepare them the right way and get their minds right. Today is their chance to finally get over there and win that district title. They got the experience to do so here at Lex.
And our keys for Lexington this afternoon, you just got to defend the home turf. Been putting a lot of money here into the new facilities. You're playing in the friendly confines. This is where you practice. This is where you get prepared. You should be able to hold it down.
My key, Brian, is locate and find those freshmen. If Adi Ugovic is able to, get her goals, she's got 37 on the year. She's got more goals on the year, Brian, than Lex does as a team. So she can catch fire in a hurry. You got to locate and find her. If the Lady Lex don't do that, it could be a long day for them.
Yeah, what an unbelievable statistic. 35 goals scored this season for Lexington. Hattie by herself. She's a 9th grader, folks. Got a couple more.
Grabbed by Lexington's keeper, Mollie Worley.
Quick shot ripped from way downtown here from Ontario to start things off, but it's handled by Worley.
You got to think, too, Brian, this Ontario team's been good for so long, and now they got 2 freshmen that are already, stepping up big and competing in varsity, experience and really leading the team. So you got to think a couple years down the line, I mean, they could be, like, seriously good, even better than they are now. And I don't even know if you can even say that because they're already so good.
Definitely set up for some future success, no question about it. But you heard from, or we're going to hear from Larry Atkinson at halftime. We're going to catch up with him. And one of the questions that I'm going to ask him about is, what does it take to keep a program at this level and maintaining it for so long? 17 seasons on the job, playing for district titles just about every single year, unquestionably unrivaled as the top dude in the area as a coach. His program's #1, but Lexington looking to challenge here as Worley, 2 saves, 2 shot attempts. And it's another deep one. So for Lady Lex, I think you'll take those. You're going to allow Ontario to fire away from about 30 yards and out. Where you get in trouble is they're so creative, these 2 freshmen, when they play off of one another. They get the crosses inside of the box. They wreak havoc, crossing up in front of the 6. But you'll take those bombs if you're a Lady Lex fan.
And these 2 met, Brian, Friday night football, these 2 squared off, and Lady Lex, had Ontario on the ropes, Brian. Ontario won that one 2-1, but it took, the entire 80 minutes for that one to be decided victor.
Yeah, definitely. That one came down to the wire. So, I mean, this is a gritty Lexington squad. I think that is definitely a defining quality of them that could keep them in the match if they can avoid some early turmoil. They're able to here. Dangerous pass, and that's what I was talking about. You see McManus making a nice charge inside the box. Pittman puts it right where it needs to be, and she just took too long. I mean, she lets that ball hop 3 times. You got to try to get some foot on the leather right there and just test the keeper. First set piece of the match. Pittman drives it in. Hattie got a piece of it. Turnbaugh just went right by it. It's going to be taken out at least momentarily, but Natalie Spencer, such clean speed. Got a lot of girls that got some acceleration on the wings for Ontario.
I think Turnbaugh, too, on that corner just kind of overran it. I think she was able to stop and, locate it. Could have got a shot on goal, but just overran it, and Lexington eventually able to clear it.
Just going to throw it down into Warrior territory. And I think Trammell's able to knock that off of McKenna Arnholt. So should be Ontario throwing, and it's going to be. As we're just a couple minutes into the contest, Lady Warriors already with a couple of shots. Nearly produced a great threat with McManus charging just outside of the 6. And we want to hear all about it down in the comment section. Make sure that you're chiming in and be part of the game. Join in on the Fan Zone. Maybe you'll see some friends out there. That's some of my favorite times, G-Man, when we're doing the broadcast, and it's like, oh, hey, Shirley, how have you been? Oh, you know, Cynthia's having a great season so far, and then, the back and forth. And sometimes, it can be a little bit of trash talk, but mostly on YouTube, I think. They can get a little bit savage out there.
Yeah, YouTube's kind of the wild, wild west of, Fan
Yeah.
Zone. So you gotta kind of watch it when you're out there. But get in the Fan Zone. Stay with me and Brian here. We love reading your comments.
See if McKenna's able to control this one. It kind of leaks by. Trammell sends it through the middle. And that touch heavy and out of bounds. Lady Warrior throwing from in front of their own bench. Bolakovsky from the right wing sends it. Couple deflections. And now settling at the feet of Elena Self before she sends it back. Deep shot, and a lot closer than I was anticipating. That was Jugovic from about 40 yards out. And just missing this one, G.
Elena Self with the shot. Just tie.
Yeah, Brian, we talk about a lot how we love, when you take shots and you at least make the keeper work back there. That one, I didn't really expect it to get, too close to that goal there, but almost dropped in. Jugovic almost put one right in between the pipes.
Hattie looking to backtrack here. And the ball's going to leak out in front. Nice tackle. Excellent job stepping up here by Lexington. And it's going to be their ball here on the near sideline.
We saw a lot of physicality, Brian, in the Ontario Lex boys game for a district title. Do you anticipate the physicality to be on the same kind of level that it was the other night?
Definitely not. The boys, they bring it to a whole new level. That rivalry produces more yellow cards than I'll see in the entire season. 9 in that match. That's uncommon. I don't think that we're going to get that same level of at least aggressiveness, though. Both of these teams, I think, as the match wears along in the second half, definitely look at the physicality to pick up. But I don't think we'll see the same level of chippiness. Could be wrong, but it's an afternoon game. I don't know. It just seems like the mentalities are a little bit different when the sun's shining, and it's just a beautiful atmosphere out here. Here's one of the captains for Coach Larry. Big throw in here. Do it all over again. Kamisha Shaw with the toss. Ping, ping, ping around. And Pat Pittman has it deflected out of bounds.
Corner cut coming up for the Warriors.
Took Ontario a lot of effort there just to get that throw in, and Lexington, it would at least clear it, but will result in an Ontario corner kick here.
There's the Lady Warrior roster. This is number 11, Adi Pittman. Nice left-footed player, back post. A little bit too much sauce on that one. As it's going to be headed out of bounds. Hattie was able to get a hat on it, but it's not on frame. And for Lady Lex, talked a bit about kind of their struggles they've had offensively. Arnholt leads the way, 7 goals for her. Had a clutch one in the victory over Clear Fork. Patterson, Chambers, amongst the top goal scorers on the squad.
Mollie Worley
There's
with
Worley
the
coming off her
grab for
back line.
Lexington.
Snaring it here for Lady Lex.
Could have been a great chance there for Jugovic. Just solid defense from Lady Lex, making it tough on Hattie. Not able to just go right up the gut there. It's physical play right there.
Yeah, that's Alex Collier using her body. Just shielding off Shaw. Whistle's going to stop play. They're making Shaw move back a couple of steps. Excellent trap that time by Pittman. Taken away by Aubrey Coleman. She was awesome in the win against Clear Fork the other night here. Aubrey Coleman, one of the staples of the defensive unit for Lexington. Oh, sick move. Now set up Pittman. Wasn't able to get a touch on it, but it headed down to her. Now Adi controls, and she's going to send a shot. Bit ill-advised. About 5 players all in the area there for Ontario. But Teston Worley, who's been solid so far, 3 shots on net, 3 saves for Mollie. Ball has seldom been on Ontario's side of the field. Arnholt working hard to try to keep it down there. She will. It's deflected out of bounds off of Turnbaugh. Quick throw in. And it's an immediate turnover, though. See if Parker's able to recollect. She can, dribbling down the far sideline. Brings it back to her right foot. She's got the cross outside the 18. Look like setting up for a big shot. Well off target that time. As Macy Chambers with the big strikeout here. And it looked like that was kind of the plan all the way, G, as you see on the Mechanics Bank replay.
You got to think when Lexington gets the opportunities when they get down there, they got to be able to, make the most of them because they're not going to get too many chances with the way Ontario's offense has at least been controlling so far here today. And great setup here. I believe that's Jugovic on the outside.
It is, but she's beat to the ball. kind of a rarity. Hattie's got such great acceleration. Arnholt tried to play for the give and go with Parker, who had to come right back to her. Kind of fortunate on that one. Now here's McKenna. Couldn't dribble her way through traffic. Off the cross, headed out of there. For now, big shot and a diving save. Sarah Hendricks, she's been solid.
With the shot saved by Sarah Hendricks.
Man, what a great chance there for Lexington. Solid shot on goal, too. Making the keeper work. Great save from Hendricks there. They needed it.
Number 70 on the season for her. And our producer pointing out that's about as much work as she got all of last match in the win against Perkins. Where Ontario, we had them down for, I believe, 85% of the possession in the match. It was just a clinic of ball control.
So far, every Ontario game that I have covered, they have been in control the entire way. That's what I think would be so unique is if Lexington can jump out to an early lead and see how Ontario is able to respond to some adversity. But nice crossover move right there.
Yeah, Kamisha with a little shake and bake. Now wins it out of the air, a couple of headers. Dropping down at the feet now of Kaylee. And Brown sets it up in the middle. Here comes Olivia Workman. Trying to work her way inside the box. Big, heavy touch as it raced away from her. And Jakaya punches it out of bounds. A couple subs on their way in. 2 for Ontario, 1 for Lady Lex. And Lady Warriors typically go a little bit deeper into the bench than does Lexington. See if that becomes a factor here. And it's perfect conditions. It's still chilly enough that I don't think you're gonna, break too hard of a sweat and lose a lot of fluids. As that was a good-looking ball, and this is where Lexington's had their best attack so far, playing in off this left wing. Workman sets it up, and it's getting away from the keeper. Hendricks able to recover, and Aubrey just smashes it out of the park.
Man, what a missed opportunity here for Lexington. Hendricks just goes right through her hands, Brian, right through the mitts, and no Lady Lex players over there on that side, not able to punch it in. It's missed opportunity there for Lexington, but at least something that they can get some confidence on. Is their offense beginning to pick things up? They've had some solid chances, as you mentioned, over on that left wing.
See if they're able to continue to capitalize. Actually, they're going to get a free kick. So what type of set piece are they going to run? For right now, they've got Kaylee Brown, the lone player to the right. They're going to send it left side. A mess of bodies in there. Good-looking flick. Kaylee won it out of the air. Now right back to Macy Chambers. Just not a lot behind that shot. I think misstruck, perhaps. So we'll get one more look at it. But for Lexington, G, now you've got 4 shots, most of those coming within the last couple of minutes. Got the same amount of opportunities as Ontario has. Really like the fight that we've seen out of them, though the Warriors have had the longer possessions. Lexington has produced just as many good-looking opportunities.
Yeah, I think they've even had a couple great chances. The one that slipped through Hendricks' fingertips, and just no Lady Lex in the area. Not able to cash in there, but they're hanging tough here early in the early goings of this game.
There's Pittman. Great looking cross. And now Jugovic tried to sneak that one in for Bulakowski.
Goal kick coming up for Lady Lex.
Boy, that one was close again. We've seen Pittman twice put it right where it needed to be. Just nobody able to pick up the phone on the other end for the Lady Warriors. As we're just about 15 minutes gone by, district championship match. A couple Richland County squads going toe-to-toe. Lexington, of course, getting to play on their home surface. What do you think about that, G?
Well, I think it bodes well for Lady Lex.
Of course it does.
But I mean, that is a big advantage that they're going to have. They're used to this kind of territory, the field. But Lexington, I guess we'll see if they have anything to say about it. But so far, I'm not seeing the purple haze, Brian. I'm a little disappointed. I seen a couple when we were on the field a little bit ago, but so far not a big crowd, at least not that I can see from my vantage point.
Well, I mean, Ohio State, Penn State is going on right now, so potentially as that thing wraps up for the second half, might see some fresh faces start funneling their way here into the ballpark for the second half. I mean, a decent-sized crowd, but not their same level of rowdiness. You know, I don't know if high school kids yet, if they're getting geeked up off a coffee in the morning. You know, I've got a couple treats up here in the booth. I can start sharing some of my candy basket with them. I was going to try to save them for some players, but hey, if that's what it takes to get a better fan base, as Pittman skips this one into Worley's chest, but she drops down to the knee for save number 4. We'll do what we do here on the OH Report. Just try to bring the juice.
I think this one was a little bit forced, Brian. If she was able to hit Jugovic, she had an opening there, but decided to uncork one. And Worley, special goalkeeper back there, another save here early in this one.
We're about to dive into the fan zone. Show some of your comments out there. Keep them coming. We want you to be just as big a part of the broadcast as me and G-Man are. Tell us about some of your favorite athletes that you're taking in here this afternoon. Give me some predictions, too. Don't get a whole lot of those. No score yet, so anything can happen, and very evenly matched up to this point. Ontario with 5 shots, Lexington with 4.
Goal kick coming up for the Lady Warriors.
And there you are. What's up, Mary? Cheering on Lexington. Ruby, of course, one of the top Warriors fans that we have on the OH Report. Keith, not sure who he's cheering for. Maybe just us in general?
I seen the Browns cap. Maybe the Here We Go Brownies? Maybe?
Oh, looking forward to that Monday nighter.
Be a good one.
Well, for now, you know how this goes. Mondays and Tuesdays, getting over the depression. By about Wednesday, I've had enough. Thursday, Friday, whatever. And then by Saturday, I'm ready for it all over again. Endless cycle of pain. And G-Man, we're going to have a fun special guest who's going to join us at the half. So I've got a little trivia question for you. I'm going to drop on top of your noggin right now.
Okay.
Ontario obviously has been the premier team here in the area. Lexington, while they've had good seasons, they haven't had great seasons like have the Lady Warriors. When was the last time Lady Lex actually defeated Ontario in a match? That's your trivia question.
Now, Brian, has it been since – can I get any hints, or is it just straight up guess?
I'll give you one hint. Or I'll give you a question, and then I'll answer it for you.
Okay.
But it can't be too direct.
I know.
Oh, this one I thought maybe could have been trouble. But it takes a skip into the hands of Worley. Protecting her net nicely so far.
I'm trying to think about this.
Well, you know it wasn't this season.
Right.
Lady Warriors, of course, got them on Friday Night Football back on August the 19th. Kick off the regular season 2-1. Heck of a contest, though.
And I know it wasn't the 2020 because I was at that game, I believe.
Okay.
I want to go
2013.
2013. So we'll allow the fans to think about this one for a little bit. If you want to help G-Man out, if you actually know the answer to today's trivia question, when was the last time Lady Lex was able to defeat Ontario on the girls' soccer pitch? G-Man says 2013. Change of possession here. Throw in down the line. That's kind of been the thought process and what Lexington has done when they've had the throw-ins. They've had a few, I'd say, careless giveaways, but they're just throwing it down the line and trying to get it deep in Ontario territory as often as possible. So that's the game plan right now.
We've seen a couple times when they get on that left side, they've been able to execute and kind of put some pressure on the Ontario defense and defenders, but offense for the Ontario Warriors on the attack now.
Dribbling through the middle, it's Elena Seif running into some danger. Coleman with a good-looking tackle and allowed the back line to step up and make a play. Look at Aubrey using her body to perfection.
Yeah, she's been pretty great here to start this game, you know, against some of these, you know, attackers, but now I believe she's down out there on the pitch.
They're definitely going to need her another look. So back to action. That one nearly able to sneak by Deanna Young, but it rarely gets by number 5, the middle backer for Ontario. One of the best in the biz in all of Division II. Committed to Ashland University. And Coleman took her eye off of that one. Maybe she's still a little bit shaken up. Hasn't shrugged off that injury. She just popped up about a minute ago.
Olivia Workman returning for Lexington.
2 subs each side again, so both units trying to stay fresh out here.
And Sasha Bulikowski entering now for Ontario.
Just waiting for the whistle and the restart. McManus threads the needle. Got it into Elena for a quick touch. Now overshoots Jugovic. I think that was kind of a veteran move that time by Patterson, just hitting it off the shin guards of the Lady Warrior. And this is what I was talking about with the throw-ins. It doesn't really look like they're targeting anybody, just trying to put it down the line. How about the recovery speed by Turnbaugh?
Yeah, she got beat there, Brian, but it didn't matter. Still able to somehow recover, as this one will be back to Worley. She would have this for a goal kick, but I think for Lexington so far, I think they're hanging tough here against Ontario. You know, the defense has stepped up big. They've had a couple chances here early, and great chances, just not able to capitalize so far. But it's been this left side, Brian, on the wing where Lexington's offense has at least been able to get something going, but not this time.
And now they got it to Hattie on the march. Jugovic just outside the 18, deflected out of bounds. Is going to be a corner kick as Chambers stepped in front.
Corner kick coming up for the Warriors.
Be the second, actually third corner kick opportunity so far in this opening half for the Lady Warriors. Oh, and look at the cool signs that are made out here. Always love a good sign.
You don't see that a lot in high school sports, Brian, but when you can, you know, not only come and support, you see more of the purple haze there, but you can also, you know, bring the signs, bring the accessories. I think that's when it kind of ups your game and ups your level.
Definitely, I like the evolution of the fat heads being brought into stadiums these days. One-timer shot way up in the sky. Whew. Hattie had about 3 seconds of hang time on this one. Look.
Not even sure how that had that kind of trajectory. Just shot straight in the air, and Lexington able to avoid another corner kick there from Ontario.
Back to Trammell. She's going to play a big ball up through the midfield, see if Elena can make a move, and she will not, as Worley handles no problem. All right, back to our trivia question. G-Man, when was the last time Lexington defeated Ontario in girls soccer? And you said?
2013.
The correct answer is 2019.
Oh, wow.
August 16th to be approximate of that year. 4-2, and it was actually over at the Ontario Soccer Complex. And a young lady that was involved in that match, the last win for Lexington over Ontario, going to be joining us at the break. We've got a standout, all-Ohioan, Lacey Bethay, going to jump on the line with us. Definitely looking forward to that. And she has been tearing it up at the next level. with the Ohio Bobcats, one of the best doing it right now. Or actually at Bowling Green, excuse me. I think she was named MAC Player of the Year a season ago. Kid's a stud. Big ball, nice step that time. Zoe Morris. Sam Morton in a foot race. Able to earn a throw-in from down deep in Warrior territory. Off the cross. Forces Hendricks out. I believe we got an offsides whistle though, G-Man. Did indeed. That's the first of the match on either unit.
Offsides call on Lexington.
Clean game so far.
Yeah, it has been. Just one foul between the two teams. The one offsides call. 10 total shots. Ontario's had better looks. 4 of them have been on frame. Lexington just producing the one. In a few moments that have made you definitely hold your breath.
Free kick coming up for the Warriors.
How would you assess Lexington so far here today, Brian? Personally, to me, I think that they've hung tough. They played great defense, other than, you know, a couple lapses where Ontario's got something going. But this Ontario team, though, I mean, they score about 7 goals a game. And to have them, with, you know, with the goose egg on the scoreboard here with 12 minutes left here in the first half, just I think you at least have to be content if you're head coach Buck Morton.
Yeah, no question that they're holding their own. They're defending well. That's what I like most, is that these freshmen that we've been seeing them sauce on people all season long. It's been unbelievable. You know, they've combined for 65 goals on the season. So to keep that tandem in check, I think it's been phenomenal. And they've had some nice looks too, G. That's also been exciting for Lady Lex, because offense, it's been challenging for them all season long.
I believe I saw, Brian, where they had 5 games where they weren't able to score goals. So, you know, scoring for Lexington became a challenge at some points, you know, throughout the season. And today they're going to have to put some on the board against this Ontario team that is bound to, you know, get their offense going. But so far, Lexington and their defense hanging tough.
Good looking ball for Jugovic. Just looking to play it in space. Bulakovsky with the shot. Deflected out of bounds.
Corner kick coming up for the Warriors.
And we've seen some dangerous set-piece opportunities created so far for Ontario. Of course, they have not been able to break through. But Adi Pittman, she is a specialist at these. And this is their little trick play. Quick touch. They'll set it up for Hattie. Now here's Adi getting around one defender. Now blasted with the left foot. Mollie able to squeeze it off a hop.
Big time save right there from Mollie Worley. Ontario's offense off the corner kick. Got it to Adi Pittman. Just not able to cash in there as Worley with a nice save.
Saw that in the district semifinal match as well. The creativity by Ontario, and those two freshmen, those tricky freshmen digging into the bag here. Ball's going to stay with Lexington, who are going to check in 3 fresh bodies, including Aubrey Coleman.
Aubrey Coleman, Allie Parker, and McKenna Arnholt.
Also getting McKenna Arnholt and Allie Parker back in the mix, so I think you could argue probably their 3 most important players outside of Mollie out on the field. So looking to make a push here over these final 10 minutes. Any goal would be monstrous. Oh, Hattie bumped down by Parker, who throws up her hands. I mean, I'm not sure what she's complaining about.
Free kick coming up for the Warriors.
Like to see the replay to see if they were meeting the ball at the same time, but nevertheless, it was definitely Oh, come on, Allie.
Yeah, she definitely was.
Get out of here.
Throwing some physical play around right there. Head wasn't even on the ball, Brian. Just looking right at Hattie on that one.
Yeah, that was like a linebacker identifying the running back coming through the hole. Hattie puts it on frame. A little bit too much heat.
Free kick by Hattie Jugovic goes just high.
8th shot now by the Lady Warriors.
Elena Seed.
A little too much sauce there from Hattie on that shot. Just sailed right over top of the goal. And now as we dip below 10 minutes, still scoreless here.
Nice ball out of the sky by Hattie. Gives it away, though, as Zoe stepped in front. Got some fun battles going on right now. Arnholt looking to turn the corner. I think she wanted to send across. Nice recovery speed, though, by Jakaya. Workman knocked down there by Natalie Spencer. And back and forth we go. I don't mind these turnovers. It hasn't been careless soccer. This has just been fun, aggressive. Everybody trying to beat the other to the punch. And probably the right move just to slap it out of bounds there by Addie Boyce. So we're approaching short time. Sub 8 minutes remaining before our halftime break, where, again, we'll be joined by Lacey Bethay, former Lexington great. We'll also have some stats, analysis, and interviews, potentially, with both coaches.
Free kick coming up for Lady Lex.
Second foul in Ontario. Are you a little surprised that Lexington's been able to defend in the manner that they have up to this point, G?
Absolutely. That's why I mentioned it. You know, they got to be content. If you're a Lexington fan so far, I thought, you know, Ontario, the freshmen, they score such a high velocity of goals that I thought they would at least have one here in the first half. But so far, this Lexington defense has stood tough and, you know, they've kept it scoreless. But Ontario's chances and opportunities are catching up with them.
Oh, another great setup, but it won't result in a shot. Back post, McManus was there again, and that's the second opportunity that she's had. And no shot from Rowan.
The opportunities for Ontario, though, is beginning to pick up, and of course, the quality, too. That one, another chance. McMahon, but not able to cash in, and now Lexington trying to get something on the attack, but Ontario's D has something to say about it.
Warriors, for most of the match, have done an excellent job on that back line of trying to get it up to their midfielders. Just dictate control and the pace, the tempo. Somehow that one stayed in bounds. That one will not. Deflected out of play here on the near side. Fast throw in here for Lexington.
Two fast throw-ins and then a big collision right there, Brian.
Free kick, Lexington.
Yeah, Turnbaugh gave her a pop. Yeah, I don't think this warrants a yellow card, but just a little chit-chat with the referee. I mean, she came up, she wanted to make a play on the ball, but that's just one of those John Madden, boom, type of plays. This one bending back post. Hendricks. Oh, she lost her footing. Workman was there, could not deliver with what would have been a mammoth score.
Wow, what an opportunity there for Lexington. Just slips right out of Sarah Hendricks' hands, and Lexington there for a shot, but it just sails right over top. Crisis averted for the Warriors.
Yeah, that was a challenging shot by Workman. Definitely not a blown one by any stretch of the imagination, but sometimes you need your senior captains to come through in these situations. Check it out. You're not going to get too many of these. Hendricks literally belly down, 15 yards away from the net. And they cannot come through. So we remain scoreless with under 5 minutes to go. Both keepers now getting heavily involved. Arnholt lets it go out of bounds. Referee says it belongs to Ontario. The Lex side of the crowd disagrees. There's the Warrior fan section. A lot of blue up there, and I mean, there's mostly hoodies up there, but it's not even really hoodie weather, G. You chose not to, you're in shorts and a tee today.
Yeah, it's too nice, you know, of an opportunity to miss this. I mean, Halloween, shorts and a t-shirt. I mean, I gotta make the most of this opportunity.
I don't blame you. Couple bodies getting tangled up. Whistle does come in late. And it's going to go against Jugovic, excuse me. And she's one of the most poised kids that I've ever met. So if she's going to argue a call, I think she makes solid points.
Yeah, she was not happy with that one, Brian. Thought I should have won against Lexington, but
I tend to agree.
Yeah.
Played out of the air by Spencer. Now McManus down the line. See if it was deflected out. Was not. So it's going to be Lady Lex ball as Olivia Stutz back into the mix here for Lex. Collier is going to go take a seat. Just 3 minutes between us and the halftime break. Arnholt through heavy traffic, somehow able to do a pullback, set it up for her teammate. Just another throw down the line.
Trying to manufacture some sort of offense. Lexington is just throwing it down to the corners, trying to get something to go. They've had success on the left side, but I mean, that hasn't been since 10, 15 minutes into the contest. It's been a while since Lexington's had a couple solid shots other than the one we just saw a few minutes ago when it went right through Hendricks' hands. But now Ontario on the attack on the other side.
Yeah, they got a 1-on-3 with Elena Seif, though. She's got some players tracking with her. Adi Jugovic.
2 minutes remaining in the first half.
And a big clear made by the Lady Warriors all the way into the forest. The ball girls here certainly earning their keep as that one's set up. Taylor made for Parker.
Allie Parker with the shot, sails high.
And Buck Morton can't be happy with that opportunity. I mean, you
Yeah.
like the setup, but Allie.
Just too much sauce on that one, Brian. Had a great chance, able to keep that, you know, all low and on a line. Would have to make Hendrick work to get a save back there.
Not a great goal kick that time by Hendrick. Sarah looks like she's gimping a little bit. I mean, this is the most that she's been involved in a match all tournament long, and look at the results for Ontario here of late. She hasn't had to do a lot recently. Lex doing their job yet again on the defensive side of things. Coach Atkinson's going to get in 4 fresh bodies for the final. It'll probably end up being about 35 seconds. So here they go, trying to make a late push. Create some type of activity. If you can generate some action in the box. Down to 15 seconds. This one flicked down into the corner. Great play there by Lexington just to keep it in the field of play. And they'll boom it down to the other end. And we are headed to the half. No score here. District championship on the line between these Richland County rivals. And we've still got 40 minutes of regulation to go. Stick around for the Mechanics Bank halftime where me and G-Man will break down the half, the stats, we'll give you our takes, then we'll also hear from former Lexington greats, Lacey Buffet. That's all on the other side. Keep it here live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
We are a church that gathers together, that builds up and reaches out. It grows together because we're all on a journey of faith. We don't slow down, give up, or rest. We don't stay within these walls. No, we pursue strategic impact in our world, in our communities, and it's not stopping anytime soon. So when we say we're a church that feels like family, we're not being exclusive. We're talking about you. At our church, you aren't just a number. We are for you. We are with you. You are invited to be a part of something bigger, something greater, something eternal, making a difference for the gospel alongside people who are for you. We aren't called to sit on the sidelines. We're called to join together to make Jesus known. Join us at Crossroads Church.
Please visit us at crossroadsbar.com for service times and locations.
What's up, America? Brian Skowronski here, and if you want to see me and the gang chop it up with some unintelligent conversation, we've got the show for you. Check out the OH Report video podcast every Monday, exclusively right here on the OH Report.
Welcome back to the Mechanics Bank halftime report, where we are still scoreless here in the Division II District Championship at the Lexington Soccer Complex. Lady Lex playing on their home surface against Ontario, the top seed, and we have no scoring as of yet. But I've got a young lady joining us right here and now who scores a whole lot of goals, and definitely a ton when she donned the purple and gold back in her playing days. Lacey joining us from the fabulous campus, I'm assuming of Bowling Green is where you're at today. Lacey, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, everything's good up here. The sun is shining. It is beautiful here in the Buckeye State. And this rivalry, if you've had a chance to be watching for this first half, what are your impressions of what we've seen so far?
I actually just got out of practice, so I haven't been able to tune in and watch the game yet.
Well,
but, I mean, 0-0 scoreless, so anyone can win that type of game.
When Lexington and Ontario get together, is this the biggest rivalry when you're a member of the Purple and Gold? Is this the one that you're looking at?
Oh, for sure. It was always Ontario and Madison, because, you know, Mansfield Crew, different club teams, like, we all played together, girls on each team. So it was kind of like playing against your best friend all the time.
And in this particular match, defense, of course, is still in the show, and that's been the case all season long for Lexington. What type of advice would you offer for some of these forwards like McKenna Arnholt, Jocelyn Patterson and company, of how you just go out there and get some big goals and try to seize control of this match?
I mean, it's all about confidence and having confidence in front of the goal and finishing those opportunities, giving your all for not only yourself but your team as well, and sticking your body on the line, clearing the body, like literally just sticking your foot in there and getting one.
And if I'm not mistaken, you were part of the last team to beat Ontario back in 2019, right? Didn't you defeat them?
Yes.
I imagine that's got to be such a great feeling. Looking back on the season statistics, I think that's the only win all time for Lexington over Ontario. So that had to have been a great one.
It was. I mean, all of us girls, we work really hard during the summer to accomplish such goals as that one. I think the girls on the team this year, they should be able to do it if they work hard together and really fight and have that grit together as a team.
And we want to give some shout-outs to you for all of the accomplishments that you're having at the next level. We saw that you were the MAC Tournament Player of the Year a season ago. How are things going for the Falcons this season?
So we play tomorrow on Cochrane for the MAC Tournament. And we're playing Western Michigan at 1 o'clock.
All right. Where can the fans, if they want to take an eye and put it on Lacey Bethay, how can they tune in tomorrow?
I believe it's going to be through ESPN Plus, but if not, you can just tune into YouTube and type in women's soccer, and it should be streamed on there.
All right, well, continue success out there in Bowling Green, and if you want to give me any game predictions here, what are we about to see in the second half, Lacey? Break it down for me.
I mean, it's going to be to the team who wants it the most and who is really going to stick their foot in there and really grit it together as a team. I mean, I can only imagine Buck's got a good halftime speech he always did with our team. So just coming together as a team and getting it done. Hopefully Lex wins. Go Lex.
All right, Lacey Bethay and Junior now up at Bowling Green. Thank you so much. Are you going to be watching the second half out there?
Yeah, I will.
All right, make sure that you chime in to the comment section on either Facebook or YouTube, and we'll keep it involved in the fan zone.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, thank you. We'll bring G-Man back into the conversation now, Garret Parlett. It's been a fun matchup so far
for both of these teams, G, and I mean, Lacey kind of broke it down, just who's going to want it more, who's going to break through with a big goal. Obviously, she wants it to be Lexington, but it's anyone's match at this point. I think you got to be thoroughly impressed with both teams, just neither have been able to hit the nail right on the head and put one in.
I think for Lexington, Brian, you know, they got to be content with their first half that they had, you know, holding Ontario scoreless. I think the score is about 7 goals a game, and in the tournament have been blowing people out. I mean, they got, you know, scores of 8-0, 15-0. I think my biggest question for Ontario is, when does that doubt creep in, Brian? You know, last year they had a favorable, you know, matchup in that one against Madison, but they ended up dropping it. And I think today they have a favorable matchup against Lexington, and you know, it's getting a little close. You know, time's going to begin to creep in. I just think maybe it's just a block in Ontario's mind. They just can't get over that hump, Brian, and win that district title, but got a full second half to see.
I think one thing that's working in their favor from a season ago, a lot of those girls are gone. Basically the entire starting lineup. This is a fresh, brand new group, new ingredients out here for Coach Larry's bunch. And here's the tournament trail. Well, actually, first, let's take a look at some of the great face paint. This is what I'm talking about, a Saturday afternoon. It's Halloween weekend. I want to see people out here wearing some costumes. That's one thing that I noticed, that there's not a whole lot of that out here today, G-Man. I mean, you and I, we got a little bit of swag on, at least some cool tees. So it is that time of year where you're supposed to be dressing up in some crazy costumes. And this is what the district has looked like so far. Ontario just absolutely hammered Columbian and Perkins. No contest in either of those when you're looking at a 10-0 and an 8-0 victory. Been a much different tournament trail for Lexington. They needed PKs to knock off the 5-time defending district champion, and then 2 unmatched goals in the second half here just a couple of nights ago against Clear Fork. Was able to punch their ticket in. 2-1 victors each of the last 2 weeks, and that's brought us here to this one. Let's take a look at those halftime stats real quick before we get you set up for the second and show you the numbers that have taken place through the first 40 minutes of action. Pretty similar.
Yeah, Brian, it's been a close contest here tonight, and that's a, you know, it's revealing that Lexington. My biggest question was coming into the night, or today, excuse me, is were they going to be able to, you know, match their offensive ability? But they haven't really matched their offensive ability. It's just been their defense has been a lot better, you know, limiting the great chances and great looks from Ontario. But, you know, it's going to be really who gets that first goal, I think. Whoever gets that first goal is going to get a lot of momentum, a lot of confidence to kind of cruise to a victory. But it's going to be tough sledding here in the last 40 minutes here, Brian.
Definitely looking forward to seeing how this one all shakes out. And as we dive back into the fan zone, I want to give some love to our generous sponsors that allow you guys to watch this tournament soccer action live and free, including Crossroads Church, a church that is always pursuing big dreams for Jesus, and you are invited to be part of it. Mechanics Bank, that's better. Lacey Construction, building kitchens, baths, roofing, siding, and more throughout North Central Ohio with experience you can trust. Sutton Bank, earn the cash reward of your choice for doing simple activities with Kasasa. And Charter Next Gen, hiring for high-paying jobs in a cutting-edge environment. Apply online today. First touch of the second half will belong to the Lady Warriors. Heavy touch that time by Adi Pittman. And it'll race out of bounds here over to Lex. Now Sasha with a quick throw-in, gets it to Adi. Pittman looking to reverse fields. On target for McManus. Goes touchline and gets a deflection. Corner kick number 5 on the way for Ontario.
Corner kick coming up for the Warriors.
Quick start here in the second half. Already a corner kick for the Lady Warriors. See if they can finally get one in the back of the net here. It'll be Adi Pittman serving it up.
They've definitely been close on a couple of occasions. This another good-looking ball right to the middle of the field, and it is going to go down for the first goal of the match. Ontario strikes first to take the lead.
Ontario with the goal off of the corner kick.
Just like that, Adi Pittman able to find great placement, and it cashes in to get an early 1-0 lead here against Lexington, Brian, in the second half. Just a couple minutes in.
And I believe that's going to be credited to Hattie Jukovic. And this goal actually went off of her hip. We got to show that one more time, because we got to find out who actually scored this. So it, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I think that's off the hip.
I think it is too, Brian.
So that's going to be goal number 38 for Hattie. Just like she planned it.
And now I think the offense for Ontario is now going to begin to turn up, Brian. They got that goal. They kind of, you know, took the top off here. And great crossover move right there.
They're such a young team. They definitely feed off of momentum, and when it swings in their favor, you notice that the juices, they just start flowing a lot higher. So look for Ontario to put together a few-minute stretch here where they're very aggressive, attacking. Pittman's just so smooth with the ball, so poised. That one, nobody in particular, as Worley scoops it up. And what a big change we have here now as we take the lid off of the net and get our first goal. Just changing the complexion now of the match.
Yeah, completely changing the style now. Lexington, they're going to have to, you know, get on the offensive attack, and something they struggled with all year. You know, they struggled to score goals, and they've been hanging their hat on defense. But here, Ontario took the top off, got the first goal, and started the second half out in style here. It's up 1-0.
Off the quick throw in, it's going to sneak by Turnbaugh, but the recovery speed, I mean, it's just unrivaled. Such a tenacious player. It seems like she allows herself to overrun a lot of plays because she'll just get right back in the mix. This one just sent into space for Adi Turnbaugh. And the captain, Boyce, selecting just to ping it out. All set up and a big, well, I was about to say a big foul, but the referee swallowed his whistle. I mean, that was deja vu from earlier when Parker ran over their player.
Yeah.
I mean, what's different about this?
Yeah, that's a lot of contact, too, in the box.
That's a rough no call.
Yeah. Wow. What a turn of events.
If you're a referee, you got to blow the whistle whenever it truly changes your opportunity. And the difference there, Turnbaugh getting the ball with it. Parker did not on her foul, and I'm calling it a foul. And what did we say in the first half about maybe the aggressiveness getting turned up in the second, G?
Yeah, it's here, Brian.
It's arrived. Arnhold just putting it down, hoping that she can get Alex to come make a stop. Seen Sarah out of the net on a few different occasions. Parker just bumping her way through traffic. And I think that that's going to end up resulting in just a throw-in here for Lexington. So well played that time by Trammell, as it's going to force Lex to throw it in instead of getting a set piece from the corner. And Ontario really packing it in now defensively. Decent carry, but given right to Coleman. Flick forward by McKenna. No one making a charge, but falls at the feet of Olivia Stutz.
Look at this.
See if they can get a shot off. They will. It's not a great one, though.
Olivia Stutz with the shot for Lexington. Saved by Sarah Hendricks.
Just the second save for Hendricks in the match. Good looking build up here for the Warriors. And right on cue, a nasty giveaway in the middle of the field. Solid back and forth action going. Warriors will be looking for a cross here. They're not going to get the opportunity as Chambers stole it away. Whips it up top here for Collier. Now Lexington may have something here, a 3-on-4. But it turns into nada. I sense a little bit of uneasiness in the bleachers right now, G-Man. You've got a good look at it. Seems like both fan bases are just expecting or wanting a little bit more.
Yeah, both. I'm right in front of the Ontario Warriors, Brian, and I think I was talking about Lexington's defense a little bit too much, and they let me hear it after the goal. They're not happy with me raving about Lexington's defense so far this year, Brian.
Didn't appreciate that much, huh? So we're going to get a restart here off the handball from Sasha Bulikowski. And a look at Kind of a subdued Purple Haze here this afternoon. Not generally what we're accustomed to seeing from that group.
A little sleepy this morning. Well, I guess it is like 3 o'clock. Oh, there they go. They found the camera.
It's a little bit more like it. Truly is one of the most amazing things that is just like an innate thing within most human beings. You see a camera pointed at you, you just want to go bonkers. Let loose.
Not sure the confusion we got here on the field, Brian.
I think it was just resetting the time.
Gotcha.
So they're going to pump it back up to 32:20. Getting some hellos coming in for us, G-Man, from down in the Lexington student section. So,
oh, sweet.
I mean, one of my favorites. I'm always a big fan of the Purple Haze. I'll always give them some love and shout-outs. Got a lot of admiration for kids that can come out and just get all bunched up like sardines and just act like maniacs for 80 straight minutes. It's a skill. Speaking of skill, there's Pittman driving it forward for Hattie. Got a piece of it. And it misses the mark by about 1.5 feet.
Now this Ontario offense is beginning to get going. Great setup from Pittman to Adi Jugovic, just not able to catch that one in just a little wide of the pipes right there. Great chance and great setup for the freshman.
Solid job by Mollie, also making a break off of her defensive line. Now here's Workman, solid turn, looking to direct some traffic. Now she'll punch it to the outside, hoping that Zoe Borowitz is able to try to make a contribution. It's not going to end up that way, as it goes from one freshman to the next. Pittman looking to take charge, splits a double team. Not a great touch there, descended out wide from Lila Stevens. Warriors going to stick with possession, though. And there's a look at G-Man, the multi-talented, skilled, and handsome young gentleman. Check that out, running camera, talking to you folks at home. What a guy.
There's the fans in front of me too, Brian. They're happy about the call. Ontario fans are wanting a red card issued to Buckmore and Brian.
Now, did he just get a yellow?
I believe so, yeah. They were on the red, but I don't think it's going to happen today.
So we talked about this in the boys edition of this rivalry match for the district championship when Coach McLenathan elected to get a yellow card down on the sideline. You know, it doesn't really cost your team too much, so it looks like he's just trying to rally the troops here, light a fire, and we'll see if he's just lit the fuse for the girls wearing the white uniforms, because right now it's Ontario dominating the run of play here in the second half and almost getting a nice setup in the middle of the field. So here comes Borowitz, a freshman with a bad turnover. Now she'll just hit a deep ball, see if someone can come make a play, but instead Hendricks all the way out to the edge of the box with the stop.
And Brian, the last time we saw, a coach take that yellow card was Chris McLenathan, and it kind of did, light a fire underneath some of those guys out there.
Certainly.
The other day. They had a couple shots after, got some momentum. Lexington would go on to eventually win that one, but now a chance here for the Lady Lex.
It's McKenna Arnholt. As the defender slips, she's going to have a chance here. Shooting it back post. I like that play, too. She had Patterson on the charge. But an even better stop from Hendricks. She's over 70 now for the season.
Talking, too, Brian. I don't know if you've seen that.
Chirp, chirp.
A little trash talk, too. Love to see that out there on the pitch.
I'd like to get a little bit more of that from the ladies' game, to be perfectly honest. We see plenty of it from the dudes. Be honest with that. For the girls, I mean, they're just as competitive. Let the opponent know. Some girls do. Just saw it. Down under 27 minutes remaining here in regulation. Lady Warriors with a 1-0 advantage. Adi Jugovic with the goal, and Zach Huff, the head coach of Madison, texted me and said he thought that she put it in with her hand. Kind of looked like it hit the hip from our vantage point. Nevertheless, it is the difference in the game right now, and here is the dynamic Jugovic. Oh, that one probably was going to go over the touchline.
Yeah.
Interesting
decision. A little confused with that. You know, you just let that one go, you get a goal kick, and now you keep it down here. Let Ontario get a chance. And
now off the restart, following the foul by Ontario. Lady Warriors have won a lot of the battles within the midfield. Now Coleman lays it back. Big strike here from Boyce. Deflected now off Patterson. On the run. Sending it out to the wing. She's got Arnhold tracking here in the middle of the field. But it's going to be a Lady Warrior throw, as they got a couple new bodies cycle in here into the competition. And we got a guy, John Bob, says that G-Man guy doing a nice job out there.
Thank you, sir.
Just thought you should know. And you can always trust a guy with 2 first names, right? Isn't that the saying?
It is now.
Should be. Oh, great chance here. Arnhold just a step behind as Hendricks coming up big in half number 2.
Super close chance there for Lexington to tie this thing up, but Ontario, better defense there from Hendricks, able to get back, come off her line there and stop that one right in its tracks. It stays at 1-0 here.
Good looking ball to the center of the park, flicked forward. Now Ontario looking to seize possession with Howard knocked down by Workman. Warriors fans definitely wanted a call, not going to get one here.
Parker entering for Lexington.
Workman's going to take a quick breather as Parker checks into the contest. Say what's up to Laurel Morton, cheering on Pops. Laurel, I believe, also part of that 2019 team that was able to defeat Ontario. Other than that match, though, G, since 2016, Lady Warriors are 8-1-1 against the purple and gold, including 5 consecutive W's against Lexington that include the postseason.
So what you're telling me, Brian, is a little bit of just the exact opposite in boys soccer.
You're 100% right. Yeah, it's basically the script just rewritten with the names in reverse order. Because you look at Lady Lex and last couple of seasons, lost to Ontario in the district semifinals after getting beat by them in the regular season. Back in 2020, just 6 wins for Lady Lex, and they lost in the sectional final actually at Clear Fork, a match that I called. Then 3 seasons ago, 13 wins. Great season for Lexington, but knocked off by these very Lady Warriors in the district semi yet again. So finally breaking through and getting to this point, playing for a district championship for the first time in 12 seasons. And guess who beat them back then? Actually, I think, never mind. I think Ontario was Division III that season, if I'm not mistaken. Body starting to move forward. Good looking give and go. This one chipped outside. Could be a dangerous ball. Not going to be, though. Grace 10 beat to the punch, and it's cleared by Boyce.
Great job from Boyce right there, recovering and able to clear that, because that would have been a great chance for Ontario to put some more goals in the back of the net. They'll clear it once again. Back towards midfield, and Adi Turnbaugh.
So the Lady Legs defense doing Mollie Worley a favor, who I found out is the niece of Blade Tackett, Northmore head boys basketball coach and athletic director. And he's here in the building today, just sitting right in front of us. Meanwhile, his good buddy Travis Berardi, he's out on the border of West Virginia.
Big Mac. Of course, he had to go home.
So how you like that? So Tackett's here. Travis is covering Northmore. I'm sure they're trading some messages back and forth about some updates and so forth. Can only imagine.
I like that comment from Keith Mark, Brian. Trash talking is my game. What a stud.
I mean, it's definitely effective.
Oh, yeah.
And so is this. Arnholt drove it in low. But again, Hendricks up to the challenge.
Yeah, Hendricks has been great here so far today. Stopping anything that comes in with near Arnholt right there. Low shot. Hendricks able to snipe it up. Grab it.
Hattie turns the corner. Jukovic from distance.
Hattie Jukovic with the shot, sails high. Olivia Workman returning for Lexington. Rowan McManus.
I'm going to see if I can get an update actually on that
Sasha
Northmore
Bulakowski
game.
entering for
Ooh,
Ontario.
it looks like it's not going very well for the Golden Knights.
What score we got, Brian, do you know?
I got Big Red up 34-14.
Yikes.
1 minute into the third. Pick 6. I'm sure Travis is glad that he made that trip down to the border to see his Golden Knights. I guess it's still just a 3-score game. A lot of time still to go.
You know, anytime Trav gets to go back home towards West Virginia, Brian, I mean, he's going to hop on it immediately.
You want to know why? Because it means home cooking at Mama's house. And who likes home cooking more than our very own Big Mac? I mean, I do too. And
I do too, but
let's be honest. I do so much enjoy going home for Christmas. And my mom, who I guess eats out a lot more than she should, she's like, this gives me a reason to use my pots and pans. I'm always asking for a lot of the old favorites that I remember from my childhood. So just nothing quite like Mama's cooking.
Well, if you didn't know, Brian, he's from West Virginia, so it's kind of different down there.
Yeah, I wonder what the specialties are. Now, he did bring me back.
It's a pizza roll or whatever it is.
Yeah, the pizza roll thing. But, dude, he talked – I didn't know anything about it. He was just like, oh, wait until I bring you this snack. And it was literally just bread and cheese with pepperonis in it. I was like, this is your guys' specialty for the full state? Well, yeah, but isn't it good? I guess, Travis, but I can get this from any pizza place on planet Earth. Hey, it's what they do in the big WV. Guarantee he's got on his Mountaineer gear today as well.
Oh, by far. He's got the hat on for sure.
Now, you got a party to go to tonight, G-Man?
I'm sure I'll find one.
Got a costume picked out?
I don't. See, Storm has a Luigi outfit. I'm trying to go maybe as Mario.
Yeah.
Dynamic duo right there, so I don't know. We'll see.
It's a good idea. I mean, Storm better not be going out and partying.
Yeah, he's a little under the weather, so I don't know what his plans are tonight.
I told him to get some vitamin C and vitamin D, not vitamin Bud Light. Like, there's a big difference there. Purple Haze just went nuts. What do we got here? Look like we got a new player checking in for the first time. Emily Thomas. Must be very well liked over at the school.
I was too concentrated about the pizza rolls than some of the game action down here and some more physical play. Getting to pick up, Brian. Great chance here for Lex.
Seeing a double team that time. Workman really sold it. It's going to be the third foul in the second half against the Lady Warriors, and big opportunity on the way for Lady Lex trying to score an equalizer. 3 Lady Wall foreman in front of Allie Parker. Got her shoe laced up
Allie
real
Parker
tight.
taking the shot for Lexington.
Rough ball. No other way to slice that, buddy. Didn't give herself or teammates a chance on that one, and those are the ones when you go back and review the film, if you come out on the losing effort. Just hate to see.
Yeah, they're not going to get, you know, a ton of chances here in today's game to get great looks, and had a set piece right there, the free kick. Just too much sauce on it to sail it over top of any Lex, you know, player's head, falls out of play.
Coleman punches it forward. It's going to get by McKenna Arnholt, though. Set up by Turnbaugh, out to the wing. And off the deflection, it's a quick throw-in for Lady Lex. Here's Thomas. Nice speed. Looks like we got a lot of comments coming in from Beraldo. Oh, look who just texted me, too. Let's see what Travis had to say.
Here we go.
Oh, it's just about sponsors for his game. Nothing fun. Nothing fun.
And by the way, Travis does not like the name Beraldo. So make sure you call him that in the comments section, or if you ever speak to him.
Do you know where that even came from? I'm not sure how it formed.
I think someone just commented it, and we just roll with it. So if you came up with it, let us know.
Nice ball. This is going to force Lexington to make a decision here. And it's going to work out in their favor. Been really quick on these throw-ins. And it works out here as it's going to stay in the field of play until then. Shaw cutting off Workman.
Olivia Stutes now entering for Lexington.
And not sure why that's Lexington's ball. I don't, Turnbaugh finding some feet. Adi to Adi. Now Pittman down to the far wing. Under 16 minutes to go here. Half number 2 winner moving on to the round of regionals. Lady Warriors have not been there over the last 6 seasons.
I can't contain myself to keep thinking about these pizza rolls, Brian.
A quick fun story, too. Travis hung out with me for portions of last Sunday. He had a friend in town, and then evidently they went a little too hard. He said he woke up the next morning and his living room was really hot. They left the stove on and pizza rolls burning in the oven all night. All night long.
It's the Beraldo special.
It's what he's known for. And that's where the legend grows. Will we get a legendary type of play here? Closing minutes of this one. Not this time. Worley. Nice save.
Diving save by Mollie Worley.
Great shot there from Pittman. I don't even know how she really even got that kind of contact on it. Was able to siphon through the defense, find an opening, and fire a shot. But good play back there for Mollie to rack up another save.
Yeah, Addie's just instant offense. She is microwave material on the soccer pitch. She was the key cog in Jesse Ryder's championship overseas when they played in, I'm trying to think of what it was called, like the Davis Cup or something.
He seems to be playing for a cup every other week, Brian, so.
I don't know how he does it. He's in Brazil right now, too, and I said, are you going there for soccer? And he said, that is not the purpose, but I will be playing. That's what I'm talking about. And I don't know if you know this or not, but Jesse Ryder gets involved in just about every practice that he has for
So
all of his
Jesse
teams.
plays?
Oh, he's a beast.
Really? I actually never knew that. That was just a coach.
If there was a league for 30-somethings in and around the area, he would be the first pick. That man can still get it done.
We got to get him a contract in MLS.
He might be a little past that, but if there was like North Central Ohio MLS, I'd be able to make it work there. He definitely he beats up on my daughter and her friends on the 8th grade force team when he jumps in the drills. Dominant. Just a quick update for all your Buckeyes fans that watching this game. Lexington's own Cade Stover having a big outing right now. He's got career high 6 catches, 78 yards, tutty, averaging 13 yards per catch. Kid's a monster. Yeah, if only the Lexington soccer team can channel some of that brute force Cade's been bringing to the gridiron.
Did the Buckeyes end up winning, Brian?
We got a score on that, Adam? I'll get an update for you.
Cool.
I'm just looking at the numbers.
He's had a good year so far for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, he's over 20 catches now. There's 5 minutes remaining. Ohio State up 30-24 down in Happy Valley.
Ooh.
Trying to... Oh, yeah, for anybody out there, yeah, I just upset a lot of people that have a DVR so they can watch this match. Gosh dang it. So no more updates from me. That happens to me all the time, though, at least on Saturdays. I'll try to avoid finding out who won big fights because I don't like paying the pay-per-view prices, but you can usually find them for free the next day. And inevitably, someone that I bump into always has to say something.
Yeah, it's a day of social media too, Brian. It's a little hard.
Yeah, I turn off my Twitter when I'm trying to not find out who did something in a boxing match or MMA. Big shot. But again, Hendricks able to handle.
Sarah Hendricks with the save.
Look at McKenna doing everything she can just to try to make the keeper work. 5th shot in the second half by Lex. Still just a 1-goal differential. Lady Lex, 1 kick of the football into the back of the net away from tying things up. And for the Lady Warriors, any goal so pivotal, stretching out the lead to 2 goals down the stretch. Probably ices it. And to think in this matchup, hey, what's up, Kirk Conrad? The only goal that we've had was an accident.
Right, I was going to mention that it still feels like a 0-0 game, even though, Ontario's got the lead. It's been a back and forth battle. Lexington hasn't had too many great opportunities, on goal. That's why, they're down 1-0, but just feels it's just been such a close game.
See if the Lady Warriors can turn the tide right here. Through ball's not going to find its way to Jugovic. Workman with the turn. Bulakowski maybe got away with a bit of a jersey tug. Lady Lex can't clear. As the Warriors starting to get the midfielders playing a little bit higher. And punched out a play on the far sideline. As the clock now rolling.
First Warriors chant we got here, Brian, from the student section.
Could kind of hear it up here. Big deflection. Aubrey off of Pittman. Should set up a goal kick here for Lady Lex. Starting to run out of opportunities. 6.5 minutes to go. Got to anticipate they're going to at least get a couple more looks on net.
And we're already at 6.5 minutes. Fast moving second half.
Two subs checking in here for the Lady Warriors. And I imagine Coach Larry is going to be going to his bench quite a bit here down the stretch. The strategy he usually tries to implement, both to keep girls in and out of the mix and also kind of run a little bit of time. And this is what's at stake here for our MVP. No, not those trolleys in the background, but I'm going to have a whole bucket to hand out. And it's always my curiosity, what do kids want? Like, are you going to go for the Kit Kat, the Reese's? I got suckers in here. I got pens. What's the most important thing in our bag of goodies?
You got Sweet Baby Ray's?
No barbecue sauce, G-Man.
Dang
but
it.
maybe, like, when you have your own home someday and you're handing out candy, that's what it should be. You should just get, like, little 2-ounce packets of Sweet Baby Ray's.
Hey, I know there's some guys out there that, you know, would love that treat, because I do. I would love that.
Or actually, it was tough to read the clock. It was actually at 8.5 minutes earlier. Now we're just sub 7, geez, so jump the gun a little bit.
Oh, hey.
And when the sun's out here on the afternoon, those faint letters, and it doesn't sound like they're going to be getting a new scoreboard here. Blew all the budget on the new school. See if Lexington can produce some offense here. Warriors looking to shut it down as just smash it down to enemy territory here with Anna Ward. Now played out for Workman. See if she can cook. Actually, that's Thomas. Try to squeeze it to Workman. And a big ball. I mean, those have not been that effective today for Lexington. Been unfortunate right there that Kaylee lost her footing. Otherwise, she might have been in a foot race for a one-on-one. And again, this is what I was talking about. Now, Coach Atkinson is going to be going to his bench a lot. I mean, it takes about 20 seconds off the clock every time you move in and out 3 different players. Make sure that you're rotating out those right wingers. It's a long jog to get off the field.
Got to take your time while doing it, too. Got to have some gamesmanship.
That would be the last break that we see of the evening for both Pittman and Sasha. Oh, somehow the ball stayed on the feet there of Layla Stevens. And it's going to result in the corner kick opportunity. See who they elect to send out there with Pittman over on the bench. Looks like it's going to be Layla. Got Turnbaugh making a run in the box. They'll set it up, and big piece of it actually caught. I think that was Jugovic who was able to do it.
What a great attempt right there for Jugovic. She got a lot of that, too. Great shot, but Worley.
Wow.
Yeah, what a save, and what a shot, too.
Big opportunity here. Nearly the equalizer. Rests right on top of the net there from Stutz. And she had a really funky looking shot, kind of similar to this, that ended up being the game winner against Clearfork. It just skied over the top of the keeper. Almost had a bit of deja vu, but it does get a corner kick opportunity here for Lady Lex as Chambers getting ready to send it into the box as We're now under 4 minutes. Back post over the top of the keeper, and wow! What a diving stop that time by the last line of defense. Oh, they're calling it a goal, G-Man.
Wow.
We're all square. I thought Jakaya Trammell knocked it out. So there's the celebration. And now the Purple Haze, hey, they have awoken.
In the biggest moment, Brian, they needed a big play, and they got one. It was hard to tell from our angle if it was, inside the goal or not. I thought Ontario initially saved it, was able to kick it out of there, but refs awarded a goal.
Oh, great setup here off the restart. Dangerous ball sent into the box, looking for Elena Seif. Now Ontario, you feel that they know they got to get something here as Pittman caroms it off the back of the defender, but Worley makes another big stop.
Yeah, now a sense of urgency here is being shown from Ontario, trying to get another goal here on the board to take the lead, but here's that replay.
Off the deflection, it's going to be Lady Warrior ball. 2 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in regulation. What an answer by the Lexington Lady Legs here on their home surface. Their first corner kick of the match.
They made it count.
And here is a look at the replay. So it's Aubrey Coleman. Oh, I don't know if you're the referee. How do you say that that's not a save by Trammell?
Tough spot to be in.
Can we see that one more time?
2 minutes remaining in regulation.
We'll try to dial it up here in a little bit. Just from where the referee is, I'm just not sure how you make that call. Big ball by Pittman, bending, Turnbaugh got a piece of it.
Adi Turnbaugh with the shot.
Not even sure how Turnbull is able to get something on it, and she does. Almost sneaks right in that top right corner, but we'll hit the side of the net, side of that post, and go out of play as now time winding down here in regulation.
Well, one of these teams deliver a big treat here to kick off Halloween weekend. Just over a minute to go. Lady Lex just trying to hope to clear it out of there. So many dangerous weapons for Ontario, and now they're circling. Possessing, Pittman splits the double team. Wow, what a move here by the freshman. Sets it back up for the left foot, the shot, and air mailed it.
Pittman with the shot, sails high.
Love the creativity.
Zoe Morris now entering for Lexington.
And check this out. I mean, on the replay, it looks like a good save. Oh, well. Hey, Lexington fans, rejoice. Or will you? You will. You're still good.
Lex is just holding their breath right now. They're just trying to make it to that first golden goal. But right now, Ontario's putting as many shots as they can, and they'll take their time for the goal kick. This one, Brian, looks like we're going to be heading to a golden goal.
3, 2.
That is exactly right. Extra time is going to be needed to determine a district champion. Lexington getting the equalizer with just 3:36 remaining in regulation, courtesy of Aubrey Coleman, the captain, coming through. We'll step aside. We'll be back. Overtime on the way, live and free, exclusively on the OH Report.
15-minute Sutton victory overtime.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
We are a church that gathers together, that builds up and reaches out. It grows together because we're all on a journey of faith. We don't slow down, give up, or rest. We don't stay within these walls. No, we pursue strategic impact in our world, in our communities, and it's not stopping anytime soon. So when we say we're a church that feels like family, we're not being exclusive. We're talking about you. At our church, you aren't just a number. We are for you. We are with you. You are invited to be a part of something bigger, something greater, something eternal, making a difference for the gospel alongside people who are for you. We aren't called to sit on the sidelines. We're called to join together to make Jesus known. Join us at Crossroads Church.
Please visit us at crossroadsbar.com for service times and locations.
What's up, America? Brian Skowronski here, and if you want to see me and the gang chop it up with some unintelligent conversation, we've got the show for you. Check out the OH Report video podcast every Monday, exclusively right here on the OH Report.
Be competing today in the district championship for the first time here as a coach for this program. So you had to exercise a couple of demons, get through the likes of Clear Fork and, of course, Madison, the five-time defending champion over here. What did it take for this team to get here, and why has this been the squad that's broken through?
You know, I don't know that I can definitively answer that, but you know what? Our girls play hard, and they come every night to give great effort. And you know what? We've kind of created an identity for ourselves, and that's just playing great defense, trying to keep people on the perimeter and shooting, and you know what? Just try to find one or two here or there, and it's worked really well for us this last few games.
To move on to regionals, you're going to have to get through one more giant, of course, here in the district, a really high-scoring team in Ontario. They put up almost 7 per contest. You guys haven't had quite the same success offensively. How do you try to keep up tonight?
You know, I mean, we know that they play well offensively, and we've watched them, and we see their numbers, but, you know, we feel very confident in what we can do. I think the big thing is for us is just, you know, possess the ball, win some 50-50s, you know, and that's where you can really change things, where you kind of create even ground in the middle of the field, where we're not giving up a lot in our own third, and so, you know, we're up to the task. I really, truly believe that.
Playing at home, this has to be comforting, of course, where you're, hey, everybody knows your name around here, Buck.
Yeah, well, it's a nice day, too, you know. I mean, it's 65 degrees. I asked Larry before we started, I said, you weren't wearing shorts last year in this game, were you? And I don't think there's any possible way. So, you know what? Again, it's a great opportunity. Our girls feel like we deserve to be here. We've played well enough to get here, and we're going to lay it all on the line just like we've done the last 2 games.
And then real quick, Halloween weekend here. Do you have a favorite horror movie of all time that comes right off the top of your head?
I'm a person who does not like to be scared, and my girls know that. So I don't know. I think I saw The Shining when I was a kid, and then that probably turned me off of horror movies for the rest of my life. But Jack Nicholson's great, so there you go. That's my one.
All right, so hopefully it's no red rum for your ladies here this afternoon.
Yeah.
Appreciate the time, man. Good luck.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Well, it looked like it was going to be the end of Lexington's season, but here's Aubrey. Coleman coming up with a clutch goal, 3:36 to go. And we're all square, G-Man. This is awesome, man. Brian Skowronski, Garret Parlett with you on the call here from the Lexington Soccer Complex. Extra time needed to decide a district championship. It don't get much better.
Yeah, that goal from Aubrey Coleman, Brian, was pretty close there. Refs awarded him a goal, so we'll move on into the first golden goal opportunity here for both sides. So whoever scores the first goal here, Brian, will be your victor. We've seen this, Ontario and Norwalk. For the boys' side, we had a golden goal opportunity there. Here's another one for the Warriors, this time on the ladies' side.
So what do you favor more, great defense or great offense in overtime, G-Man? What do you like to have?
That's a tough call. Today, I think you got to value the offense, considering, neither side's really been able to get going. The defenses have been there. In this opportunity, you got to get a goal to win. I think you got to rely on your offense, and I think that tends to favor the Warriors.
Yeah, has all season long. Talking about one of the highest scoring teams in Division II, almost 6.5 per contest. They've scored 122 goals on the season. Lexington, just 36, including today. Big differential.
Yeah. But hey, Brian, it's not how many you score, it's when you score them. And right now, they could have a chance here to finish this thing off.
Yeah, so the rules are any goal ends it, folks. We are in a golden goal situation. No shot coming up that time from Macy. Going down, grabbing her right leg. Zoe sticking with it. Chases it out to the corner. Chance here for McKenna to try to cook. Haven't seen very often here in this contest where Lexington's had sustained possession of the ball down in Ontario territory. They've definitely been able to flip the script with several counterattacks, don't get me wrong. But that was about the longest that we've seen them down in Warrior Country.
Yeah, you can tell, the aggressiveness has turned up for them, being a little bit more physical, and I think they kind of sense it. Now in this opportunity, you just, needed one goal and you'll end this thing. So I think the offense for Lexington beginning to pick up, but you always got to be aware of that counterattack from the Warriors. They can score in a hurry.
Well, they say that history tends to repeat itself, G-Man. You look at the tournament trail so far. Lexington 1-2-1. Lexington 1-2-1. It's 1-1 right now, so a goal for them. What would that mean?
I believe we had the same situation, Brian, last year for Ontario. Against Madison, they hit one in from the corner. I don't think the Warriors fans want to hear that, though, right now.
See Pittman running into some trouble there, trying to set up her powerful left. And just not much smoke on that shot there from Rowan.
Shot by Rowan McManus. Mollie Worley with the grab.
And including the second half, that's the 12th shot here for Ontario. 20th overall in the contest. They average more per game, so I think you got to get a lot of love to the Lady Lex defense. Here comes Coleman, looking to get involved in the action. And they'll set her up. Aubrey, a little bit of space. And just didn't have the speed to catch up and uncork a big shot as Turnbaugh beat her to the punch. Now Lady Warriors get it out of their end. Pittman involved in a collision right in front of us with Chambers. Now here comes Hattie. Haven't seen Jugovic do what she's accustomed to. I mean, this is a kid that scores about a goal and a half every single match. Hasn't really been able to just cut through the defense like we see so often from Jugovic. Now we're going to get a substitution with Natalie Spencer checking out the captain. Shaw heading over to the sideline for a little bit. Now here comes Hattie. Jugovic off the cross, deflected. And we'll see a set piece on the way. Second corner
kick coming up
for Ontario since the start of the second half.
Great chance here for the Warriors to try to end this. You know, Ryan, their lone goal came off a corner kick. See if they can do it once again here in extra time.
Addie sends it just outside the 6. One-timer, what a stop.
Wow.
Check this out on the replay.
I mean, look at the reaction time on that. I mean, she was there before Mollie even had a chance to try to save it.
Chambers saving the day. See if she can yet again. Not this time. It's going to leak to the outside. Pull back, and I think getting away with the handball there was Workman. A lot of Warrior fans getting worked up because of it. They got a good point.
Yeah, they got the right to. That looked for sure to be a handball, Brian.
And it leads to Lexington on the leak out. Here comes McKenna. Just going to shift one outside the box. See if someone can make a play. One-on-one. And Stutz can't get off a great-looking shot. Jakaya Trammell shaken up down on the turf.
Timeout on the field for an injured player.
Still 8 minutes remaining in extra time, number 1. If we get no scoring over the next 8 minutes, we'll take a 5-minute break and then do it all over again. And while they tend to the injured player, we'll go ahead and step aside. We'll be back. It's overtime here to decide a district champion.
We are a church that gathers together, that builds up and reaches out. It grows together because we're all on a journey of faith. We don't slow down, give up, or rest. We don't stay within these walls. No, we pursue strategic impact in our world, in our communities, and it's not stopping anytime soon. So when we say we're a church that feels like family, we're not being exclusive. We're talking about you. At our church, you aren't just a number. We are for you. We are with you. You are invited to be a part of something bigger, something greater, something eternal, making a difference for the gospel alongside people who are for you. We aren't called to sit on the sidelines. We're called to join together to make Jesus known. Join us at Crossroads Church.
Please visit us at crossroadsbar.com for service times and locations.
So after the injury, Jakaya Trammell is up. She's walking over to the sideline. There's Buck Morton, head coach of Lady Lex, and having a conversation with the referees who initially signaled that it would be a corner kick, but now they're lining up for a goal kick for the Lady Warriors. So a bit of controversy on both sides, of course, now with the no whistle on the potential handball by Workman in the box, and Buck not too happy that his girls don't get a set piece. Nice ball set up right here.
All it takes is one chance, Brian, to get, one of these freshmen out in space for Ontario. You don't want to run with the keeper, and you got to like their chances in those.
Here's Pittman going head-to-head with Coleman. She'll lose that battle at least momentarily. Little bump applied that time by Adderholt. Didn't allow Spencer to get off a good-looking pass. And now Bolakospi lost control. Golden goal is what we're looking for here in extra time, folks. Any goal ends the match. We saw that be the case for Ontario, like you mentioned last season. 3-2 in extra time. And one of the flukiest goals I've ever seen that Madison scored to win that match. Trying to avoid more heartbreak here. Three straight headers brings it to the midfield. Coleman knocking Pittman off her line. Now here comes Adi. Looking for something to formulate into the middle of the field. Waiting on it, showing some patience.
Corner kick.
And now
Ontario.
Warriors fans rejoice as they'll get set up with a corner kick. And this freshman, one of the best in the business.
Allison Howard now entering for the Lady Warriors.
But actually, they're going to swap out and have Spencer deliver this one. And the delay is Allison Howard checking into the match right now for Ontario. They're going to sit down Stevens. And the referee never whistled for it to be back in session. So they will re-trigger from the corner. 7th opportunity for Ontario in these situations. Good looking ball and overshoots the keeper. Pittman drives it in low, knocked out of there by the Lexington defense.
Wow, standing tall in a big situation there on the corner kick from Spencer. Pittman able to get a shot on it. Shot it low too, a lot of traffic. Somehow Mollie able to save it.
Look at that mess of bodies in there. Not even sure if it was Worley that was able to get a paw on that. Looked like he got kicked out of there. So the Lexington defense continues to stand pat, hold firm. Here comes Shaw on the hop. Now Spencer out to the wing. Try to set up Bolakosky. Goes touchline. And I think deflected off of Lexington, so we'll get another chance to see them trigger in a set piece. And I think coming from this side favors the lefty Pittman a little bit. She can get the nice slice going back towards the net. That's exactly what she'll do just outside the 6. The header by Jugovic, just wide.
Adi Jugovic with the header just wide.
Man, they've had so many chances here that has Ontario. One of these is bound to cash in just wide on that header from Jugovic.
I thought she was going to put that one in. Not sure how many of her goals have come off of the header variety, but definitely a handful. Hattie's such a fabulous aerial attack player, and she's got the lone goal of the match for Ontario up to this point. This youthful Ontario squad replacing 10 starters from a season ago, but right back in the spot where they've been so many times before. 14 consecutive district championship appearances for Ontario under head coach Larry Atkinson. But Lexington trying to send them to defeat for the 6th straight season in this contest. Not on this one. Hendricks got a clean read on it.
With the grab.
Patterson with the turn, runs into some danger. It'll lead to a corner kick, though.
Corner kick, Lexington, 2 minutes remaining.
And look at Adi Turnbaugh.
A little upset, to say the least.
Well, she's trying to say that it was last touched by Lexington, and you look on the replay there, I think that it does carry him off of Patterson. So Adi got a decent point. Big moment right here. And it's handled by Hendricks. See if conditioning starts to become a factor, G, as we're about 95 minutes of gameplay in, just over a minute remaining here in this extra session number 1. Good ball, Arnholt tried to time it up, now Workman.
Workman with the header off target.
No bueno.
Couple chances here for Lexington late in this first golden goal. Still nothing to show for it, though. Lexington not able to really get super great looks. Had a couple opportunities, but nothing has hit the back of the net.
$13 shots for Lady Lex in the match. Ontario's got 24. But all that matters is the last one that finds its mark. Here's Pittman, she's got a 1-on-2. Can the sensational freshman make something out of it? She won't. The junior captain does her thing.
Defensive turnaround for Lexington. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
Final 5 seconds.
4, 3,
and we are headed
2,
to extra session
1,
number
and
2. We'll go ahead and just keep the action here. And I talked to Larry Atkinson before the contest about building a program, getting back to this game year after year after year. Here's what he had to say.
Got the legend with me now, Larry Atkinson, 17th year with the program, and you're playing in this match for the 14th time. It's really an unbelievable statistic, Larry. What would you say has kind of defined the program that you've been able to deliver this type of success year in, year out, over and over and over?
Well, I think from, day one we started coaching. I started coaching, and then Gregory come on with me, was we look 2 to 3 years out. We get our younger kids involved during the summertime, so we know 7th and 8th graders and even 6th graders where we're at when they come up. And we know what we have on hand every year. We know, hey, we got these seniors going out. How do we replace them, and who do we replace them with? Not this year, a little bit harder because, we had, 14 seniors, 10 starters. that we had to replace. But, we used a lot of freshmen last year, anticipating that, what we had coming in this year as freshmen. So it kind of equaled out, and we was hoping that, the maturity level, one more year more mature physically and mentally, that the juniors coming in would be able to help us, and they have. It's been a great year.
Well, last 5 seasons, of course, you've been defeated in this match. Different opponent this year, though. How do you go about, for yourself as a coach, just getting kind of that bitter taste out of your mouth and just knowing that it's a fresh new day out here?
Yeah, it's something. I mean, we think this district is one of the top districts in the state, and no matter, it's usually the 4, us, Clear Fork, Madison, and Lexington, and anything can happen. You can throw the records out. You can throw everything else out. It all comes down to one game, and it comes down to 80 minutes, and it's basically who can make the least amount of mistakes and who can capitalize on mistakes the other team makes.
And you were talking about the maturation of your ladies and the fact that you're replacing 10 starters. Obviously, you got some quality freshmen and some sophomores that are in your mix. What do you think that you were able to do to get them developed to where you guys are a juggernaut right now in the state?
Yes, I think they're just, the freshmen we have came in this year, and the sophomores we have, they're just diehard soccer players. They love to play soccer, and it's all about winning to them. And I think they, come out every day and practice and play together and push each other just to get better. And, the summer is where we look at kids, and they know it, and they're involved in everything all summer long.
Since it's Halloween weekend, I know it doesn't feel like it out here. We got a heat wave, Larry. Do you have a favorite costume all time that you've dressed up as that you get like a lot of compliments about? Maybe you look back on the Facebook time hop if you have one of those, and you're like, dang, I look good that year.
I would say probably a hobo.
Yeah, that was the best.
That was the best, I think. I don't want to say a pumpkin. That's kind of cheesy, but just a hobo.
All right, well, nothing hobo about his team's game, getting to the district championship again. Thanks for the time, Larry.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, so we are back to golden goal action. Larry said he liked his costume of a hobo. Well, we've got our very own out here. Check out G-Man. Can you see these cutoff gloves that he's got on? A little scarf around his neck or some type of attire. So that's what happens when you show up to work in shorts and a T-shirt, and you're a couple days away from November.
Well, it's kind of warm in the sun, but kind of over here, in the shade, it gets a bit chilly, but I'll be okay.
Yeah, you're making it work, making it happen. But who will do that for one of these teams in overtime? Number 2, G-Man. Oh, big heavy touch from Hattie. Man, is she going to want that one back if she's able to not measure that one out that far. I think that's one-on-one, and you know what usually happens with Jugovic.
Yeah, that tends to favor her, and just too much on that one. Too much on the touch. It was a little bit shorter, Brian. It could have been pretty deadly here for Lexington.
I believe Worley was just a little bit shaken up that time. So the referee allowing her a couple extra ticks. Regain her composure, and we are back to action. Ooh, smooth move right there by Spencer. Big ball, nobody down there, though, for Ontario. And at this portion of the contest, you kind of got to pick and choose when you make your big, long runs. I mean, these girls have been going at it for almost 100 minutes.
And that was a little confusion, Brian, because that was definitely a handball, but I don't believe the ref blew his whistle to alert the throw-in.
I've seen a few miscues in that department this afternoon. Oh, huge ball. Who's got the speed to get there first? Patterson. Nah, it's going to be Turnbaugh. But stick him with it. Here comes Lex. They got bodies moving forward. Big opportunity for Parker. She sets it up, and the one-timer skies. McKenna Arnholt, nearly the hero of the match. Can't keep it on frame.
Oh, and I love the setup, too. Instead of taking it herself, she decided to dish it off to Arnholt.
Oh,
and wow, what a chance. They could have ended it right there. I'm not sure if Lexington's going to get a better opportunity than that right there, Brian.
You can't have a better buildup than what we just saw. Beautiful soccer that time by Lexington. Best combination that we've seen from them all afternoon. Ooh, look at McKenna. Blown by the defender. Now Arnholt keeping possession. Now she sets it up. One-on-one and the shot and the goal! It's Jocelyn Patterson, Lady Lex, punching their ticket to the round of regionals.
Man, Brian, they made our eat our words. We didn't think they could get an even better setup, but Patterson punches Lexington's ticket. What an upset.
The top-seeded Ontario Lady Warriors go down for the 6th straight year here in the district finals. Last two coming in overtime in golden goal situations. The hero of the match, it's a senior, Jocelyn Patterson, keeping the season alive. Unbelievable finish.
I mean, what a turn of events. I mean, it just leaves you speechless.
An award ceremony on the way here for the freshly crowned district champion Lady Lex. Ontario as runner-up, also going to receive some medals and a trophy, and we're going to carry all the action for you live and free. I'm going to head down to the sideline. I'll have my microphone ready. I'll catch up with as many players and coaches as possible, and definitely an interview with our MVP. Let's talk to the hero who will go down in Lexington lore, Miss Jocelyn Patterson. That's all on the other side. Keep it here right after this quick break.
We are a church that gathers together, that builds up and reaches out. It grows together because we're all on a journey of faith. We don't slow down, give up, or rest. We don't stay within these walls. No, we pursue strategic impact in our world, in our communities, and it's not stopping anytime soon. So when we say we're a church that feels like family, we're not being exclusive. We're talking about you. At our church, you aren't just a number. We are for you. We are with you. You are invited to be a part of something bigger, something greater, something eternal, making a difference for the gospel alongside people who are for you. We aren't called to sit on the sidelines. We're called to join together to make Jesus known. Join us at Crossroads Church.
Please visit us at crossroadsbar.com for service times and locations.
Back now with our Bo Lacey MVP. We've got the hero of the match, Jocelyn Patterson, game winner in the second extra session. You got to tell me about these last 5 minutes and what it's been like to be you.
It feels incredible. We put it all out there. We were the underdogs. We were ranked number 3. We beat number 2, and now we just beat number 1. And it feels great to beat our hometown rivals when they beat us at the beginning of the season too. So it feels good.
You guys you hung in there. You capitalized when you needed to. Tell me about the defensive effort out here and holding a team that normally scores about 7 per contest to just 1.
Our defense did absolutely amazing. I give all the credit to them. They had spectacular saves, and our goalkeeper, Adi Boyce, Aubrey, with amazing saves and a goal, and Zoe and Maddie, they did great, fantastic. They did fantastic.
So you girls are moving on to the round of regionals, first time in your career or anybody's career out here. This has to be such a cool feeling and opportunity for you ladies.
Yeah, I mean, we have not won a district champ since 2010, and we haven't been back since, so it feels good to win it and move on to the next round.
All right, and for you, you're the girl that got it done, so you're going to go down in Lexington lore forever. Anybody that you want to thank for your soccer career that helped get you to this point?
McKenna with a beautiful assist and her amazing foot skills. That was amazing, and just my parents.
All right, Jocelyn Patterson, our Bo Lacey MVP. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to throw it back up to G-Man, and actually, I got a whole bucket full of candy up here. I'm going to come grab it, and I'm going to hand it out to a whole bunch of Lexington players. We're going to see what they pick and get their impressions on the contest. Throw it back up.
Yeah, so thank you, Brian, down there with our MVP, Jocelyn Patterson. A big game as Lexington upsets Ontario here, defending home turf, as they're going to win your district final here today over Lexington, over Ontario, 2-1. But what a performance here today, and what a shocker, to be completely honest, and be brutally straight about it. Just Ontario, the favorites coming in, they had the offense to get it done. I mean, Adi Turnbaugh had scored more goals than the entire Lexington team all year, but they got it done defensively. They're able to limit the opportunities for some of those freshmen like Adi Pittman and Adi Turnbaugh, and they silenced the doubters here today as Lexington gets their first district appearance with Buck Morton and their first district title. As we'll bring up the final stats to see how really everything went down today. As you take a look, Ontario, 24 shots, 13 on goal. They had 0 offsides, 59% possession percentage for them. They had 7 corners, 6 saves, 0 cards, and 7 fouls. For Lexington, just 15 shots, 7 on goal, 1 offsides. They had possession about 41% of the time, only 1 corner, 12 saves, 1 card, and 2 fouls. And, Lexington, not as many shots as Ontario, but I think, they struck in big moments, when they needed it. Ontario came out in the second half and they scored in the first 5 minutes and kind of shut things down and started to look like Ontario was going to, win this one and finally get over that hump and win a district title. But then Lexington came back with about 3 minutes remaining in the entire game, and they were able to knock one in and score. It looked like a save, but, that's the hindsight, ended up being awarded a goal. It's 1-1. They go to the first golden goal. Nobody can score. The second one, Jocelyn Patterson with a beautiful assist, I believe was McKenna Arnholt who set her up. She knocks it into the back of the net, and that's where we're at. Lexington with a huge win, 2-1, and a big-time upset over rival Ontario as they're presenting some of the trophies now on the field. This will be awarded to the Ontario Warriors, and what a season that they had. MOAC winners, they really dominated everybody they played, really until today when they met up with Lexington, and they weren't able to get past it. It's just too much from Lady Lex here today. Defensively, kind of shut them down on their offense. And now we're going to recognize the district title winners here, the Lady Lex, as they get it done here on their home turf too. Mollie Worley gets to put that medal on. She had a big game today back there between the pipes for Lady Lex. I believe she had double-digit saves, and she needed to. She needed to be spot on today versus Ontario team that puts up about 7 goals a game, and she did so today. Rock solid. And Jocelyn Patterson getting her award right now. The game winner. Ice water in her veins as she punched through the back of the net for the game winner for Lady Lex here today.
Brown. Number 12, Maddie Hughes. Number 13, Alex Collier. Number 14, Aubrey Coleman. Number 15, Sam.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, buddy. How you doing? Well, it's going good up here, man. How's the vibes down there on the field?
Vibes are going good down here. There's definitely a lot of really happy Lexington fans and got a couple of fist bumps. People are excited. You know, this is the first time in a dozen seasons that Lexington's been able to put themselves in this position. So, you know, it's hard for your heart not to break for Coach Larry and his crew because obviously they put themselves in a position ranked in the top 10 in the state just about every single season when they get to this point. But they've ran into some buzzsaws in the past with the Taylor Huff teams from Madison and now, of course, just a couple of crazy bounces one way or the other, and this is the result. Lexington getting the dub, baby.
And Brian, we talked about it too at the break. If it went to penalty kicks, we thought that favored Ontario, but Lexington, they had something to say about it. They weren't even going to let it get to penalty kicks. As Jocelyn Patterson able to punch it through the back of the net, she's going to be down in the Lexington ladies soccer history books as they get their first district title here under Buck Morton.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And here comes Buck right now. We'll see if we can steal him real quick. Buck, can we get you for a couple quick questions? All right. We're going to be looking right up here at that great-looking camera guy, Buck. So, man, this is awesome. Obviously, you're moving on to regionals for the first time with this group, and you knock off one of the top teams in the state to do it. Crazy game here, man. How'd you guys get it done?
I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. We just, you know what? I mean, we never give up hope. We play hard all the time. I mean, I've got an all-world player in the back, in Adi Boyce, and then we get 3 minutes and how many seconds left? I tell Aubrey Coleman, let's go, get up there. And then, we just find a way. I mean, these girls, it's not pretty, and I really don't care. I mean, we're winning games. And, I mean, you can't play them any tighter than we've done. We've won in a shootout. We've won in overtime. We've won in regulation and all one-goal games because they never stop fighting. It's amazing.
Yeah, survive and advance. That's the name of the game when you get into tournament time, Buck. You know that, so congratulations. Looks like they're doing a group picture. They're probably going to want their head guy in there. Go ahead. All right, G, so we were talking, though, right before we got Buck, and while we thought that if it went to PKs, it would definitely favor Ontario, we both also had a sense that kind of the movement and the flow of the game was favoring Lexington to come through with a couple of big opportunities. They got not one but two in that second session, and you see that they were able to capitalize. Huge win for them, and I don't think you can count this team out moving to regionals. I'm not sure what really lies ahead for them just yet. I'm going to have to take a look at the bracket. But the way that this team plays, inspired for one another, and as well as they can lock you down defensively, you can definitely not look at this team and say that they're a big underdog anymore. They've proven 2-1. That's their score that they like, and they get it done.
Well, Brian, we talked about it, as you mentioned, that we felt that if it went to PKs that Ontario had the advantage, but there was just a sense, in the air, that in the atmosphere, that Lexington was in command, and they were, and I thought in that second golden goal session, Ontario kind of got, they got a little stagnant. Their effort was kind of a bit dicey there, so I'm not sure if Brian can hear me or not, but I don't think he can, so I'm going to keep it up here. Yeah, he can't hear me, so no worries, but I can keep it up here and lock and loaded. It's a lot of confusion here, but no confusion on the field from Lexington. We'll take a look. Thank you, Mr. Adam, for our D2 girls soccer Lexington region. Lexington now the district champs. They beat Clear Fork, obviously, and then they also knocked off Madison. That one went to PKs. This one we thought was going to go to PKs, but Jocelyn Patterson with the dagger to send Lexington on. They're your district champs. They knock off the 1 seed here in Ontario, where everybody thought Ontario was going to be favored, and they were, and rightfully so, with the kind of seasons that the Warriors have had. But the rivals, Lexington, what a rivalry this is, and they put it to bed with a big win, a big district title, as Lexington will move on as your district title winners. But I can't imagine the emotion those girls are feeling on the field, and now look at the Purple Haze joining in on the party. And what a win here for Lexington and head coach Buck Morton, his first district title even appearance, and he gets the win. So he's going to be a happy camper today as they knock off a rival and Ontario squad. But I'm not sure a lot of people can say that they thought they could see this coming. I mean, with the kind of season that Ontario had, just Lexington pulling off the upset here of the year so far, as they're your district title champs here in ladies soccer. They knock it off 2-1 in the second goal opportunity. They cash in with 12:15 remaining. Jocelyn Patterson will be the hero for Lexington throughout the entire season. Take a look at the fan zone. Laura Morton, we got this, Lex. They did get that. And Franklin Hindelbrand, sorry if I butchered your last name, buddy, but we own Ontario. Well, tonight they were able to own them. Classic Warriors was another comment coming in. Ashley Harwell, great game, Lexington. It was a solid game for Lexington. They were moving on. They won a district title. What a game, too, to have on the OH report here, as I think Brian's got a couple interviewees that we're going to get to here in just a second. He's been passing out Halloween candy. You know, it's the season of Halloween, so got to be throwing out the treats and the tricks. And Lexington had a few tricks and treats up their sleeve today as they get a big win right before Halloween, kind of stealing it right out from Ontario in that second goal, golden goal opportunity. But I believe Brian's lining a couple up of interviews. We'll see what Keith Mark says. Wait, Berardo's special dish is pizza rolls. His legend continues to grow, and that for sure does, Keith. He's something else. And I believe we're getting ready for some interviews down on the field. We're throwing it down to Brian. Go ahead, Brian.
All right, guys, I'm down on the field now. I got the captain, Adi Boyce, with me. You guys are moving on to regionals. This is crazy. It hasn't happened in a dozen years, I should say. Why is this team the one that's able to break through?
I think we always have a really great bond. We've known each other forever. We put in so much work for this, and it's finally really great that we've gotten here.
Tell me about the flow of the match. Ontario, such a high-scoring team. You guys lock them down defensively. You're a key cog in that. What were you able to do to try to frustrate a couple of those tough freshmen that they have?
The freshmen are definitely tough. I feel like we just have to stay in front of them. They're new to this. It's obviously their first season. So I feel like there's a lot more nerves that come with that, and just keeping them in front of us really helped.
So your first tournament game, you go to penalty shootouts with Madison. You win 2-1. Do you think that that's kind of like fueled you guys during the tournament now, giving you some belief? You knocked off the 5-time defending district champs there.
Oh, yeah, that definitely helped. We knew they were coming in angry since the first loss, and it just really gave us the energy that we needed to continue.
Well, it's Halloween weekend. You got any parties to go to and kind of celebrate this thing or what?
I think I'll be sleeping for the rest of the weekend, so no, I don't.
Well, that's fair. All right, well, I do have, I got a little thing full of goodies here, a lot of different options. I'm only going to let you take one, so I want you to go through the choices here and tell me what you're picking and why.
I'm going Kit Kat all the way. It's the best. Come on.
How do you mess with the best, right? All right, Adi Boyce, thanks a lot. All right, now we got the winning keeper today, Mollie Worley. Awesome performance by you, a lot of big saves. Describe it through your eyes when Ontario, I think, had twice as many shots as you did, but you guys shut it down. How'd you get it done?
Well, we knew we had to keep them in front of them. Their freshmen are really good with their left foot, especially Addie. We just had to shut them down, force them to the right, and just lock it down.
Did it feel like you had a lot of pressure on you basically throughout this entire tournament to step up and get it done? Because you haven't scored a lot of goals, of course.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of pressure on my shoulders and pressure on everyone's shoulders on the team. But as a keeper, getting the shutout during Madison, that was a lot. And then Clear Fork keeping us up, I think that was a big thing. And then here we knew it was going to be a battle. It wasn't going to be an easy game to win.
So moving on to regionals, I mean, what's your expectation? I got to imagine the belief is at a whole new level for this squad.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I'm still in shock. It's a lot. I know we're all definitely excited. All the seniors wanted us, all 7 of us, so yeah.
Well, I'm down 1 Kit Kat now in the bag of treats, but take a look in here. Tell me what you're going to choose and why.
Man, I'm taking the Kit Kat, too.
So clearly, Kit Kat, a team favorite here.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right, thank you so much for the time. Mollie Worley, the winning keeper here in the district championship. And last but not least, we got McKenna Arnholt. Had a huge goal in the previous match. And, I mean, you were kind of cooking up top, helping setting things up. Tell me about the flow of this game offensively and how in the second half and then in overtime you were able to find some good-looking build-ups.
We just kept pushing the ball forward once we got out of our defense. And we just kept trying to find feet and just work it up top and just use our outside mids a lot.
Yeah, you were able to do that. You knock off Ontario after knocking off Madison, after knocking off Clearford. It's been quite the gauntlet for you. This has to be such an exciting time to be a part of Lexington soccer right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm just so proud of us because we've been working all summer for this moment.
Give me your honest opinion. So you're looking at the district bracket when you guys come in after the tournament draw. Were you guys kind of like, man, that is quite a gauntlet?
Yeah, we definitely had the harder side in the bracket with Madison and Clear Fork, but we knew we just had to work hard and we would get there.
All right, so moving forward now, you guys are going on to the round of regionals. You guys have any idea who you're going to end up facing? I didn't get a chance to look yet.
I think it might be Copley or Copley. I'm not sure, though.
It doesn't matter whoever it is. Probably 2-1 is going to be the deciding factor, the final score.
Yeah, probably.
All right, McKenna. Well, hey, 2 Kit Kats down. There's still a few left in here, so you have that choice if you want to. But what's your go-to?
I'm going to have to pick the Reese's.
My girl, that's what I'm talking about. All right, McKenna, final word here before I throw it up to G-Man. You want to say anything to Lex Nation?
Just thank you for believing in us the whole way.
All right, you heard it here. They've had the belief. So has this team. That's why they're moving on to the regionals. District champs, G-Man. Thing of beauty, man. Thanks, McKenna.
Thank you.
So thank you, Brian, down on the field with some of the Lexington stars here tonight. Should say today. Big-time job. Shout out to Lex Nation coming in here getting a big win. But, yeah, as she mentioned, they will be playing Copley as they move on to regionals. And I want to give a shout-out really to Lex Soccer here as a whole. Girls, you know, they beat Ontario today with a big-time late goal and the second goal, golden goal. And then, of course, Lexington also defeating Ontario earlier this week. I believe that one was on Thursday. That one not as close as this one, but both Lexingtons in soccer. So I think that's what we're going to do it here today, boys. I think we're all wrapped out here at Lexington. A big-time district champion. Shout out to Lexington Lady Lex. They get it done in a big win. 2-1 over Ontario, over their rival. Give a quick shout out to our sponsors. Thank you, Sutton Bank, for sponsoring Crossroads Church, a church that is always pursuing big dreams for Jesus, and you are invited to be a part of it. Mechanics Bank, that's better. Lacey Construction, building kitchens, baths, roofing, siding, and more throughout North Central Ohio with experience you can trust. Sutton Bank, earn the cash reward of your choice for doing simple activities with Kasasa. Charter Next Gen, hiring for high-paying jobs in a cutting-edge environment. And, of course, Lacey Construction. I want to thank everybody here on the OH Report broadcast. Adam, Hayden, Brian, everybody here all involved with OH Report. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Shout out to Storm. Hope you get better, buddy. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you guys for tuning in as we're out of here with another great finish for soccer here at Lady Lex.